Hey, Shalom. We'll get started here in just a few moments.
The power of good is more terrible than the power of evil. You know, it ain't Satan with demons coming back shooting lasers on people, man. It's gonna be Yahweh Shai with his holy angels, man. That's powerful, man. Blasting people to nothing, man. You know, hey, it's beautiful and it's terrible, man. That's terrible, all right? Everybody gonna be afraid, man.
Behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
This is Job chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Now this is going to happen to the so-called white man, okay? You so-called white people, you're going to be terrified, all right? Terrors will make you afraid on every side, okay? And you're going to have no place to run to, no safe haven, all right? Because your kingdom is going down, all right? And it's going to go down drastically, okay? You're going to lose everything, okay? And the whole world will rise up against you, okay?
And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to my power. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Hakodash. It's all praises to Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. And his son's name of the word in the called Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Also give it praises, honor, and glory to the Yahweh Kakodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes this edification possible. I want to say Shalom to you, sincere hearted Akim Wa'akwat, that you brothers and sincere sisters make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. Also want to give double honors to my beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well. And Shabbat Shalom. All right, I'm the brother Osmowath here from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. All right, coming back this morning through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah to do another lesson. And the Lord's will, this lesson will be edifying unto the elect of the nation of Israel and glorifying unto the names of my power, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. All right, and I got two articles I want to get into this morning. We may just read this one that you see before you on the screen. But as you can read the title, it says White House warns of flood, quote unquote, flood of ICE agents coming and wearable trackers for migrants. All right, the White House warns a flood of ICE agents coming and the wearable trackers for migrants, which we know is not going to stop with wearable trackers. It's a Trojan horse, okay, ultimately to push forth their form of peace and safety, okay, by pushing forth that charagma, okay, the RFID micro C hit, which is the mark of the beast. All right, and it's Lakia, you know, we gotta weigh our words in a balance, you know, as we're censored, of course. But at the end of the day, man, this word is going to go out, and the devil's going to do what he's going to do. Ultimately, Yahweh Shema Shah is going to do what he's going to do. You see, and that's ultimate to bring this damn devil down. All right, but nonetheless, so yeah, we're going to touch into this article here. All right, White House warns of flood of ICE agents, man. All right, and we know that the devil, okay, is about to not about to, but he's just getting all the pay this year. Okay, this year has been pretty much his prep season. All right, he's got all the paperwork out the way. Genius Act is finally approved. Okay, signed into law. Other particular cryptocurrency bills is signed into law. Legislation, Stablecoin Act. All right, the Big Beautiful Bill, which the Big Beautiful Bill, okay, grants the grants ICE, immigrations, customs enforcement, grants them, with a massive budget to work with, man. You see, ultimately, like if it was to be divvied up, it was supposed to supply them for 20 years, but they allocated it for 4 years, man, which I believe is like over 170 billion. As a matter of fact, it's right here on the screen, which we're about to read this article, but it's 170 billion dollars over the next 4 years, to dramatically scale, the enforcement, of ICE. You see, so this damn devil, man, he's serious. While, okay, you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, all right, you're not taking the damn thing serious. You see, but that's not going to stop just because you don't know what's going on, and just because you're not taking, all right, this time serious. That don't mean, okay, that that the Lord ain't about to follow through, all right, with his threats of destruction. This is Amos chapter 6:3 in the NLT. This is the Lord's testimony concerning or against our people, man, the wicked of our people, the mindset that they're in. Amos 6:3 in the NLT. You push away every thought of coming disaster, but your actions only bring the day of judgment closer. That's it, man. And that's you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans by large, man. Okay. You think that you're not going to be touched. You think that you have some type of immunity here, okay, in America. Even you tribes, you know them, you northern tribes that came over here. All right. You think that America is some place, some safe haven. You see, that's why they even have terms and phrases called a sanctuary city. You see, but you're about to see, all right, America's not a sanctuary for you. The only sanctuary for you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, all right, is a secret place of Yahweh Bashmal Shah. Okay, there's truth. But see, only the elect has been given, okay, access as they've gone through the door, which is Yahweh Shah. They've been given access, okay, into this safe haven, into this sanctuary, man. Because the Lord promised in Ezekiel, the 11th chapter, in the 16th verse, therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah, although I have cast them, talking about the Israelites, far off among the heathen, yet we've been scattered. As it is this day, it says, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. See, so the Lord is our sanctuary. Okay. Ain't no damn sanctuary city in America, okay, set up to be a safe haven for us Israelites. This place has proven itself to destroy us, man. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart out of the midst, for it is not your rest. It will destroy you with the sword destruction, man. You see? So our sanctuary, our safe haven, our tabernacle is Yahweh Bashmal Shah. All right, in the form of this ministry, this truth, the body of believers. All right, and the Lord protecting us, okay, by his spirit. You see? And the Lord is breaking down the confidences of his people. And what do our people put their confidence in? Okay, the so-called white man at the end of the day. You see? And the so-called white man's about to show you, all right, that he's the devil and he hates your guts, man. All right, but let me get this real quick before we get into this article. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, northern kingdom and southern kingdom. All right, because southern kingdom thinks that they're exempt too. All right, which Haitians, so-called Haitians, all right, which they're a biblical nationality or tribe, are the Levites, all right, lawyer, and their immunity, here in America is, I believe, is when is it supposed to? Let me see. Give me 1 second. September 2nd. September 2nd. All right. Protection for Haitians will be removed on September 2nd. That's right around the corner, man. We got August and then September. All right. So expect, okay, Esau to make a move upon all the tribes, because he's not going to just stop with the Haitians. All right. Because you can't differentiate between, okay, a Haitian and, an American Negro. See, right now, Northern Kingdom's faces have been plastered all over, news and, particular platforms. as it relates to them being detained by ICE. But just wait. Later on this year, okay, September 2nd, Esau's about to clamp down on both kingdoms, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. So protection for Haitians will be removed on September 2nd, 2025, following the termination of TPS, known for temporary protected status. See, it says this decision was made by the Trump administration when cited improved conditions in Haiti as the reason for the termination, allowing Haitian nationals to prepare for potential deportation. And when you actually, follow particular news, at least what we see, at least the news that we're able to see on the internet, what's still going on in Haiti, it hasn't gotten any better over there. That nigga barbecue still eating people, man, for real. It's still a complete civil war over there. See, but this is just Esau's ploy and tactic and Trojan horse just to come down upon all the tribes here in America, man. Which proves, okay, Jeremiah 50 and 33. This also proves that this is Babylon the Great. Jeremiah chapter 50 and 33 says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah hosts, the children of Israel, northern kingdom, and the children of Judah, southern kingdom, were oppressed together." See? Happening right here in Babylon the Great, man. It says, "And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." You see? Because this place, don't think for a second, man, that all right, Esau, because what they're doing, these are ultimately deletion camps that they're putting you in, man. All right, they're not packing you up and shipping you across. No, man. Okay, they're taking you and they're going to delete you. There's already been a lot of cases of that, dropping you out of planes. See, because it costs a lot of money, all right, to house prisoners, man. You see, to house migrants. You see, so-called. So you think that they're about to just put you in a camp, all right, and keep you there, and they're gonna have to feed you, give you water, clothing? No, man. All right, when they take people over there to these particular deletion centers, all right, they offer you, man. You see, and that's ultimately why we need, all right, that standard. All right, but let me go back here. Jeremiah 30 and 4 says, "And these are the words which the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah." Verse 5, "For thus saith Yahweh Bashmal Shah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." You see, so all you Israelites are saying Jacob's trouble is gay. We already went through Jacob's trouble. There is no Jacob's trouble. All right, well, hey, that's not what the scriptures say. Okay, this is not a time of peace, man. And as we just got in Amos, the 6th chapter, all right, okay, the Lord said his people push away every thought of coming disaster, man. You see, but your actions only bring the day of judgment even closer, man. All right. And what happened here? Let me go back. Jeremiah 30 and 6. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail?" So it's like, why do I see every man, with his hands on his loins like a woman giving birth? You see, because when a woman's giving birth, man, she's in excruciating pain, as that's part of the curse that the Lord put up on, Eve, for as we're in this cursed state. You see, it's painful giving childbirth, man. All right, well, as the Lord was giving this vision unto Jeremiah, that's how he saw every man. Every man had his hands on his loins like a woman. You see, going to show you, bro, these are some terrible times that we're embarking upon, man. And if the spirit of Yahweh Bashmal Shah is not supping with you, all right, you're gonna fold. You're gonna fold, and you're gonna do anything and everything you can to try to save your life. You see, and there the devil got you, man, because at that point now he could easily manipulate you, all right, and put that seed inside of you as you're gonna try to save your life. Okay, save yourself from the fear and impending doom and danger. You see. It says, "As a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." Verse 7, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it." None is like it. Okay, you can think about all the different pressure points in history to where it was, terrible times, man. World War I, World War II, okay, Great Depression, all right, 70 AD, the siege of siege of Jerusalem, all right. See, but all that, okay, it's going to be like 70 AD and the siege of Jerusalem on steroids, man. The times that we're coming into. All right, look at the technology that this damn devil, okay, has, man. See, flame throwing robots. Okay, he can wage war with you, in the atmosphere. You see, 6G, just turn frequencies up. You see, make your ass implode. This shit is real, bro. That's why it says so that none is like it. And this devil's technology has a lot to do with that. You see, the technology that the Lord has granted him to have. See, ultimately is the Lord's purposes, man. All right, to avenge himself of his enemies. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. See, Jacob's trouble. Who's Jacob? Us Israelites, man. So-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. But everybody's going to feel it. As Jake is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, this is going to shake up and bring hell upon the whole planet, man. You see? Everybody's going to feel this. And especially here in America, bro. All right. And these people are ripe for the taking. They have absolutely no idea what's happening. Everybody's head is stuck in the sand. They don't see what the hell going on, man. But that's good. The Lord don't want you to see it. All right. Hey, the prophet Isaiah asked the Lord, hey, how long they going to be blind? How long they going to be deaf? And the Lord's response to Isaiah was, hey, until the cities be wasted. See, the Lord don't want you people to understand what time it is, man. See? It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And the he that's going to be saved out of it is the elect, man. All right, the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, those that are making their bodies a living sacrifice day in and day out for Yahweh Bashmal Shah, man. All right, and that's who that standard is going to come for. But let me do this here. I'm gonna hold that. All right. So let's read this real quick. This is off of USA Today. All right, it says White House warns of flood of ICE agents. See, White House warns of flood of ICE agents, and I got the thumbnail for this video. Isaiah the 59th chapter, which is only right. Let me go ahead and get it. See, going to show you, man. Hey, the Bible reigns true. See, these are true and faithful, okay, words of prophecy. See, because prophecy tells us that there's going to be a flood, okay, of the enemy that's going to come in upon us here in these latter times. Let me get this. Blood ungodly. Yep. This is 2 Samuel 22:5. Let's start at verse 3. The rock of my power. And this is when you read this is a psalm of deliverance, okay, that King David wrote. All right, and the house of David, okay, is going to be delivered as well from our enemies, just like King David was. All right, Lord's will, I'm part of that number. But this 2 Samuel 22:3, it says, the power of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn, meaning the power of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge. See, hey, the Lord's our refuge, man. Not no damn sanctuary city. Okay. All right. America's not our refuge. America is not, okay. We don't get underneath the shadow of America for protection, man. You see, unlike the wicked of our people, flee into these sanctuary cities, thinking that America is going to be a safe haven for them. Or the Lord is showing you that these sanctuary cities, okay, are about to be the cities of your destruction, as the White House is promising, okay, to flood these sanctuary cities with the enemy, man. You see? So this is not the place of rest. It says, and my refuge, my savior, thou savest me from violence. I will call on Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. See? Who IUIC gonna call on? Jeebus, sweet Jeebus, man. All right. The elect is gonna call upon Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, man. That's where the power and that's where the safety comes from. It's from those names. Acts 4:12, Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, man, and the righteous runneth into it and is safe. That's upon the forefront of our gospel, man, of this ministry, this doctrine. Yahweh Shah, when he commissioned us, he says to go out, all right, and baptize, okay, his people in the names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, man. See? And I will call on Yahweh Bashma Shah, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. When the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. See? And you got the White House itself telling you, okay, that they're about to flood this place, okay, with their ICE agents. And these are floods of ungodly men. Verse 6, the sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon Yahweh Bashma Shah and cried to my power. And he did hear my voice out of his temple. And my cry did enter into his ears. Right. It's going to get to a point to where the Lord's about to shake this place for the elect's sake, man. And he's going to lift up that standard. But this Isaiah 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Bashma Shah from the west. Where we at? In the west, in the western hemisphere, man. And the elect is fearing that glorious name, Yahweh Bashma Shah. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashma Shah, from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy, who's the enemy? Who's our arch enemy, our chiefest enemy, the so-called white man, Esau. All right, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashma Shah, shall lift up a standard against him. So there's a standard coming, all right, for the elect. That standard is going to be lifted up. Let's grab that word standard. Strong's H5127. All right. Nas says to flee, to escape. So the Lord's going to make a way of escape somehow, some way. We don't know how it's going to come. We don't know when it's going to come. All right, how it's going to come. But this is what the Lord promised. Just like he promised there's going to be a flood, okay, of these ungodly men. And you got the White House telling you they're about to flood this place. Well, just like the flood was promised, well, the way of escape is promised. The standard is promised. And we can't box the Lord in. You see, we just got to solely have faith, okay, and not walk by sight, but walk by faith, man. You see, it says to take flight. Yeah, to take flight. Certain men are going to be endowed with this spiritual empowerment to fly. And that may sound crazy. Hey, a lot of these Israelites, they don't talk about that. These other camps, they don't talk about that. But see, this is promised. This is coming. Imagine that you got a flood of, ICE agent troops surrounding you, National Guards, and, all these Gurga troops surrounding you in your house, man. And Lord just, you calling up on the name of Yahweh Bashma Shah, and you just fly off on them niggas, man. Hey, remember, he says, show new signs and other strange wonders. What did Yahweh Shah say? He says, for you shall do greater works than what I have done. See, did not Yahweh Shah, did he not slip, okay, and escape, from particular, throngs of crowds at particular times, man? Yeah, he did. They were surrounding him sometimes and got to a point where they kind of cornered him in, but he slipped out of their sight. He disappeared. See, he said, greater works you're going to do. See, so yeah, men here on the earth right now in these times, lowly men that you look at and despise, okay, you don't like, you see, men that you will never think or consider, all right, but these men are going to be endowed with those particular powers, man. They're going to disappear. They're going to fly off on your ass. You see, it says to fly to the attack on horseback. Man, it says, it just made me think of Habakkuk, how the Lord plucked up, Habakkuk, he sent the angel to pluck up Habakkuk, by his hair, and took him to Babylon. And that could happen. An angel could come just teleport you somewhere, all different types of miraculous things are about to happen, man. See, we can't box Yahweh Bashma Shah in. And you have to believe that. It says to cause to disappear, to drive hastily. All right, but let's go back to this article here. So it says White House warns a flood of ICE agents. It says border Caesar aims at sanctuary season. And it's not by coincidence. Okay, he has the title Caesar. See, because this is Rome 2.0. It says it aimed at sanctuary cities. So he's going to show you America is not your safe haven. This is not the tribe sanctuary, man. Yahweh Bashmal Shah is our sanctuary. Ezekiel 11 and 16, as we got. In all the places you've been scattered, I will be unto you there as a little sanctuary. Not Los Angeles, not New York, not Boston. You see? So it says White House. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Let's see, it's not letting me zoom in. It's all good. It says White House border Caesar, Tom Homan, and he's a devil, man. You know, he looks like a devil. He talks like a devil. It says White House border Caesar, Tom Homan, is promising to flood cities run by Democrats with immigration agents as the Trump administration ramps up border enforcement. Congress this month gave the Trump administration more than $170 billion over the next 4 years to dramatically scale up enforcement, detention, and deportation, bro. You see? And there's already been reports of there's at least 5 other cities that's actively building right now as we speak, that's actively building detention centers, and they use Alligator Alcatraz as their model, as their base model, man. You see? And of course it's more than just those 5 other cities, man. Esau Ben, bro, he's got shit on the ground. He's got cities and stuff on the ground, man, that they've been building for decades. You see? Not including all these particular big retail stores, you know, factories that's been closing down. They're going to gut those out, and I already got them gutted out. You know, they already gutted out and ready to go. You know, so everything is set and it's paving the way for prophecy, man. You see, but $170 billion. You see, and if you want to know what a man is interested in, look at his investments. Look where he spends his money in. You see, so Esau's serious. This shit ain't going to just fade away. No, this is what they're about to, like our apostles and bishops and elders been saying. Esau is making his move. He's not even about to make his move. He's making the move right now. You see, next year is about to be, oh my goodness, man. The economy is about to look way different. I would project at least starting like the middle part of next year, especially by the end of next year, if not before. You know, the economy is damn near going to be cashless, man. You see? Damn near everybody going to be jobless. You see? We're coming to some harsh times, man, some cold times. Okay, ICE is, you know, in everybody's neighborhoods. See, right now, you know, you just looking at this shit on the news, a lot of us, but it's about to be a point to where it's going to be at our doorsteps. See, a flood, when you consider a flood, okay, a flood, it surrounds you, it engulfs you, man. You're surrounded. There's nowhere to go. And especially the way Esau got all these cities built, he got these cities built on grids. You know, you look at a aerial projection of a map, you know, and you see how these neighborhoods and cities are designed. He designed all this shit for a specific reason, man, you know, in a particular way. He's got it on a grid, every block, every corner. You know, he just put a tank on the northeast perimeter, put a tank on the southwest perimeter. He got your ass surrounded, man. And they got $170 billion to allocate, you know, funds to, you know, to hype this shit up, to amp it up, man. So all you Israelites, oh, I got my guns, man. I got the bag, man. I'm good. Okay. Let me grab this real quick. Jeremiah chapter 4 and 28 in the NOT. It says, the earth will mourn and the heavens will be draped in black because of my decree against my people. See, the Lord, he's against the majority of his people, man. It said, and it's going to be a dark day. It says, I have made up my mind and I will not change it. At the noise of charioteers and archers, the people flee in terror. And who's those modern day charioteers and archers? Esau, man. You're gonna be hearing tanks in your neighborhood all night, helicopters, you see, Civil War, women screaming, getting great, little children screaming, babies, crying, grown men hollering. I could hear it now, man. Sound like some shit you would hear in one of those Purge movies, but it's gonna be Purge on steroids, man. You see, people, people, when they be watching the Purge, man, I hope that shit never happen, but that's gonna happen, bro. It says, at the noise of charioteers and archers, the people flee in terror. They hide in the bushes, and you're gonna have niggas hide in the bushes, Hey, bro, the Lord already got it mapped out. He told us what's going to happen, man. And it's happened before a lot of times in history, but this time it's going to be way worse, man. It's going to be the worst it's ever been. It says they hide in the bushes and run for the mountains. It says all the towns have been abandoned, not a person remains. Yeah, it's going to be plucked apart. Like I say in 2 Ezra, the 16th chapter, they're going to enter into the houses with their swords, and they're going to, they're going to pluck it apart, like the gleaning of olives, like the gleaning of an olive tree, to where only one or two is left over. You see, these homes, these big homes that's filled with these big families. You see, once these floods of these troops come in, they're going to pluck everybody off, man. And they may leave one person. It may be one nigga up in the attic they left behind. You see, one nigga somewhere in the basement or a hole he dug in the backyard or whatever. See, but everybody else gonna be plucked off. Says verse 30, what are you doing? You have been plundered. Why do you dress up in beautiful clothing and put on gold jewelry? Why do you brighten your eyes with mascara? Your primping will do you no good. Yeah, because Jake, okay, even though this devil has shown you time and time again that he's your enemy, all right, Jake still prostitutes himself, man. Israel still prostitutes herself, all right, to these other nations, man. Chiefly Esau, Edom, trying to dance for the devil, look good for the damn devil, man. Says the allies who were your lovers despise you and seek to kill you. Yeah, look at the northern tribes, man, that came over here, all right, thinking that America's their ally. You see, trying to escape the hell, back in their back at their house and back at their home, Mexico or some part of Latin America or whatnot. They come over here to America, to these sanctuary cities. You see, the allies who were your lovers despise you and seek to kill you. I hear a cry like that of a woman in labor, the groans of a woman giving birth to her first child. And that first child, that's always the hardest too. See, as that cervix isn't opened up, that shit hurts. Well, I don't know, but I hear it hurts. All right. Well, that's how it's going to be. The Lord's like, man, this shit going to hurt. All right. It says, it is beautiful Jerusalem. It's like it is beautiful Jerusalem, gasping for breath and crying out, help, I'm being murdered. Yeah, man. That's all you going to hear. Why are you killing me? Why are you doing this to me? See, this is Hosea chapter 8. And Hosea chapter 8 and verse 8 in the NLT. And this is a prophecy against the northern kingdom, man. But you can apply this to all the tribes now. But specifically, this is against the northern kingdom. All right, Hosea was a prophet. All right, for the northern tribes, it says, verse 8 in the NLT, the people of Israel have been swallowed up. They lie among the nations like an old discarded pot. Just thrown aside, just tossed aside. It's all defiled, like a wild donkey looking for a mate. They have gone up to Assyria. See, and where's the modern day Assyria? Right here, right here in America. Isaiah the 10th chapter. The people of Israel have sold themselves to many lovers. And who are those lovers? These other nations, man. But though they have sold themselves to many allies, I will now gather them together for judgment. See? So it's not by coincidence that you got all these northern tribes just flooded here in modern day Assyria and Babylon the Great, America, man. The Lord is gathering, a lot of these. The Lord is gathering the tribes together for judgment, man. was that Ezekiel the 22nd chapter? He's going to melt you down in that crucible. He's going to gather you in Jerusalem, man. See, in Jerusalem, we're a people before we're a place. So this is why the Lord got northern kingdom and southern kingdom here in the latter days together. Okay, because you're going to have, the 144,000. Well, you're going to have particularly the 144,000. You're going to have the large multitude, the 1/3 getting delivered out of here, and you're also going to have, the 2/3, that's going to get destroyed here, man. You see? So that's why the Lord got all the tribes together, the bulk of Israel over here. He's gathering them together for judgment. It says, but now they have sold themselves to many allies. I will now gather them together for judgment. Then they will writhe under the burden of the great king. Let me see what that word writhe means. Make continual twisting, squirming movements or contortions of the body. Squirm, wiggle, thrash. Yeah, I can see it now. Jake, the tribes, packed up in the back of a damn cargo plane or whatnot, you just twisting and squirming and you're writhing under pain, broke your ankle and your arm in the process. You see, busted up eyes and lips and just through. See, it's just excruciating pain, man. It says respond with great emotional or physical discomfort, a violent or unpleasant feeling. See, a violent or unpleasant feeling, man. The Lord ain't playing, bro. The best thing you can do, is repent, and turn to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, he is obviously clearly giving the green light, to this damn devil Esau Edom to go ahead and make his move, bro. And they're warning you. The White House is warning you. Listen, we're about to flood this place, bro. They're not playing. $170 billion for over the next 4 years to up, enforcement and detention and deportations, bro. They're not playing. The only ones playing are you Israelites. All right. Verse 10 again in the NLT. But though they have sold themselves to many allies, I will now gather them together for judgment. Then they will writhe. You're going to wiggle. All right. You're going to thrash yourself under the burden of the great king. And who's that king is talking about? That cruel Lord that the Lord said he will put over you here in the latter days. Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians. All right. The Egyptians. The modern day Egypt, America, Revelation 11:8. Deuteronomy 28:68. The same place, the same Egypt we got shipped, over here by the way of ships in Egypt. Again, man. Well, not again, but let me read it real quick just because we got some new listeners. Because this is a prophecy that the Lord said that the Israelites will go under here in the latter days. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. That's right, man. So the first Egypt, we didn't go into the first Egypt, the ancient Egypt, by the way of ships. All right, we walked over there. You see, you had was that Joseph and our forefather Jacob. All right, and and Joseph's brothers went into Egypt during the time of that famine. All right, and then we grew in Egypt as a mighty nation. We weren't shipped over there by the way of ships. So where did that happen at? Right here in America. And America is established and rooted. Even when you go into let me type this in real quick. I want to do a lesson on it. May hit it next week, Lord's will. Egypt mania. Look at this. Egypt mania in the United States. Egyptomania refers to a period of renewed interest in the culture of ancient Egypt, sparked by Napoleon's Egyptian campaign in the 19th century. It says, let me skip down here. Yep. American cultural, visual art, and architecture absorbed what was becoming general knowledge about ancient Egypt culture. See, there's a time period in American history to where it was called Egyptomania, where Esau was just fascinated with Egypt, man. See, and they built all these particular, monuments, the Washington Monument, the obelisk, look, the Egyptian bridge. All right. But anyway, it says, I don't want to get too much into it because, like I said, I want to say this for another time. But you look on the back of your dollar, you got the pyramids. This is Egypt, man. But just going to show you that this is as we're reading here in Isaiah 19:4, okay, America is that spiritual Egypt that we're reading about. Isaiah 19:4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah of hosts. And we believe that fierce king gotta be Nero, gotta be Trump, man. All right. You can look at his countenance. He looks way more serious and stern and stout than what he did his first term. You see, and the particular laws and legislations that he's being told to sign, because he's not really running anything. I mean, on a particular level he does, but we know ultimately, he's being manipulated by those elites, But this nigga Trump, he ain't playing now. Anyway, so let me go back here to Hosea 8 and 10, because that's that great king that is talking about, that fierce Lord, that cruel Lord. So it says, but though they have sold themselves to many allies, I will now gather them together for judgment. Then they will writhe under the burden of the great king. Israel has built many altars to take away sin, but these very altars became places of sinning. Yeah, going into Israel's idolatry. And you look at the Latino tribes, man, just absorbed in Jesus, the Day of the Dead and all that, weird shit, man. Idolatry, Satanism. Even though I gave them all my laws, yeah, because the laws applies to you so-called Mexicans too. All right, Dominicans, all right, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. See, you're Israelites. You're supposed to be keeping the law, statutes, commandments of your power, man, and worshiping Yahweh Bashmal Shah. Says, even though I gave them all my laws, they act as if those laws don't apply to them. The people of Israel love their rituals of sacrifice, but to me, their sacrifices are all meaningless. I will hold my people accountable for their sins. And that's the time that we're in. You're going to have to give an answer, man. So you thought shit was sweet when you come over here to America, you could go to home and sit on the side of Home Depot, have an Edomite contractor hire you out for the day, and you making money, and you send some of that money back home, and, you thought it was all cool. But now the Lord is holding you accountable because you're his people too. You see, you're his people too, man. And like a phrase that's been going out here amongst the brothers of Great Millstone, Northern Kingdom gets it first, Southern Kingdom gets it worse, man. And that's how it was in the ancient world too. You see, I will hold my people accountable for their sins and I will punish them. They will return to Egypt. See, come on, man. Israel has forgotten its maker and built great palaces, and Judah has fortified its cities. Therefore, I will send down fire on their cities, and I will burn up their fortresses. So every place that you're trying to be protected by, the Lord's going to bring that shit down. And Jake, both kingdoms try to hide underneath America's shadow, man, Egypt's shadow. See, but the Lord's going to send fire down upon this place. But let me go back to this article here. It says Congress this month gave the Trump administration more than $170 billion over the next 4 years to dramatically scale up enforcement, detention, and deportation. And Holman said Americans living in so-called sanctuary cities. See, why did he say so-called? Because he knows that they're about to run through that place, man. And a sanctuary is supposed to be a place for protection. You see? And the only true sanctuary is Yahweh Bashmal Shah. Everything else is a so-called sanctuary, man. The Lord's about to bring that shit down. You're hiding yourself underneath a house of lies, man. What is that? Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28 and 15 in NLT. You boast, we have struck a bargain to cheat death. See? And have made a deal to dodge the grave. The coming destruction can never touch us, for we have built a strong refuge made of lies and deception. These sanctuary cities, man. That's just an example. You see? Those sanctuary cities, that's a strong refuge made of lies and deception. You thought you were going to be protected. You thought that you had rights. You see? And even for the Southern Kingdom, man, we got it earlier, September the 2nd. Okay, they're removing TPS, temporary protective services, all right, away from the Haitians, September 2nd, which, once again, you can't differentiate between a Haitian and a so-called Negro, man. So that's Esau letting you know, all right, we're about to make our move on all y'all, man. Verse 16, therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Look, I am placing a foundation stone in Jerusalem, a firm and tested stone. And who's that? Yahweh Shai, man. It is a precious cornerstone that is safe to build on. Whoever believes need never be shaken. See, only the elect is going to believe upon that precious cornerstone, Yahweh Shai. And the elect, they built upon that cornerstone. So they're gonna when these floods come, the elect is still going to stand strong. They're going to be firm and stable as they're rooted and grounded upon Yahweh Shai, man. Calling upon those names, being protected, having the standard lifted for them. So now let's finish this in this article. We're probably not going to finish it because it's quite lengthy, but we'll just read a little bit more. It says, Holman said, Americans living in so-called sanctuary cities can expect to see far more agents on the street soon. He says, quote unquote, we're going to flood the zone. Damn, man. He says, we're going to flood the zone. So shit ain't sweet, man. All right. Holman said at a July 22nd, which was what, 4 days ago, news conference. He says sanctuary cities get exactly what they don't want. More agents in the community and more agents in the work site. And this is also crippling America's economy even more, as it's a controlled demolition, you know, because now a lot of these construction sites, they're abandoned, you know, they're not building anymore. You know, farmers, you know, they're not getting their crops harvested, you know, even though a lot of it is done by machine and tractors and stuff now, you know, but yeah, a lot of it is affected, you know, as the migrants, you know, so-called immigrants, you know, Jake ultimately, you know, are being, you know, rounded up. See, so this is causing a ripple effect everywhere, man. You know, and I remember I had made mention of, you know, because I go to Home Depot quite often, you know, for a particular line of work I'm in, and bro, it ain't Issachar in there like it used to be, man. Like, I mean, you still see, you know, Issachar up in there, of course, but the way it used to be, nah, bro. It's usually now it's just really just Edomites, you know. The contractors themselves, they got to go in there and go get the shit themselves, man. You know, the shit is real. It says when we arrest a suspected illegal immigrant in the community, if he's with others that are in the country illegally, they're coming too. And this section, it says sanctuary cities won't help with ICE arrests. Oh, and also, they're supposedly Trump administration is suing New York City, okay, to block immigration sanctuary laws. Yeah, because New York isn't cooperating, okay, with the Trump administration and ICE. You see, so it's a so-called, lawsuit, but all that smoke and mirrors, man. It's just distraction. They're all in it together. It says the White House repeatedly. Well, I say that, but also the scripture does speak about Egyptian being against Egyptian, you know. So it could be true. You know, America's just a big ass mess. It says the White House repeatedly has singled out cities from Los Angeles to Denver to Boston for their refusal to assist ICE agents making detentions, and Homan has threatened to arrest elected officials who stymie the process. It says migrant rights groups warn increased enforcement raises to risk of more civil rights violations and violent confrontations, such as the chaotic protests that broke out in Los Angeles last month following immigration and customs enforcement raids at a Home Depot, among other locations. Let me read this section too. It says Homan spoke in New York City after an off-duty Border Patrol agent was injured during an attempted robbery that officials say was committed by an undocumented immigrant. See, and they want to narratives like this. They're gonna want to continue to push out, and they're gonna milk narratives like this as much as they can, so it justifies them to steadily, up their militarization, in ICE, and bring the Marines back out, like they did during the time of the Los Angeles riots, not last month. See, so it says Homan and the other White House officials argue the agent would never have been hurt if his alleged assailant had previously been blocked from entering the country or deported. So, let me see. There's one point on here I want to get. Yeah, this is it right here. I'm just going to read through it. It says the federal spending plan, among others, provides funding for 10,000 new immigration and customs enforcement agents to help carry out Trump's plan to deport 1 million people annually. So they're looking for 10,000 new ICE agents, at least. It's going to be more than that. And then they got the help of the Army and stuff, the National Guard. But 10,000, that's a lot. So this that flood, man. It says, and then they want to deport at least 1 million, people a year annually. And as it be so far this year, they're behind their projections of where they want to be. But they said they still want to carry out those projections. You see, so that means he's going to have to come down. They're going to amp it up this year. Hey, that's why Yahweh Shah says, pray that your flight be not on a winter or on the Sabbath, man. And you may find yourself, fleeing, and it's cold as hell outside, man. But in those times, it says Trump won the White House after campaigning on a platform that included dramatic, stricter immigration enforcement and border controls, and the federal funding plan he signed July 4th, the big, beautiful bill, provides money to dramatically expand the number of ICE agents on the streets. $45 billion for more than 100,000 new detention beds for people facing deportation. Damn. 46.6 billion for border wall construction and 10 billion in additional homeland security funding. ICE now has become, check this out, ICE now has a bigger budget than the FBI, DEA, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, U.S. Marshal Service, and the Bureau of Prisons combined. See, so ICE, they have a bigger budget than all those agencies combined, man. So that goes to show you this devil, he's making that move. He's making that move, man. All right. So according to analysts by the American Immigration Council. So let's see here. Yep. That's pretty much all I want to read on that article. But yeah, it's happening. Digital economy, Jacob's trouble, all these things. Oh, and there's also one more article I want to show you before I end it out. Let's see, where's it at? Dang. I get rid of it. Okay, here we go. What y'all about small shot? This is off of Latin Times, but it was on a lot of news platforms. I can't get this damn ad to move, but hopefully you can see it. There we go. It says ICE reportedly set to put ankle monitors to tens of thousands of migrants whenever possible. And it's not going to stop with ankle monitors, man. Okay, with ankle trackers and wearables. See, this is all a ploy and a Trojan horse, all right, to put it in you, man. See, because you already know how it's gonna play out. They're gonna put these wearable trackers on migrants, so-called, all right, and they're gonna get reported. Oh, they keep taking them off, or it gets damaged or whatever. So they're gonna come with that solution. Okay, we just need to put it inside of you. And if we put it inside of you, you can stay. So yeah, we see this devil. He's always telegraphing, but that's why scriptures say, all right, the spiritual man discerneth all things. You have to discern and filter things out through prophecy. 1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit. If you're natural, if you're carnal, you're gonna look at that, oh man, it's gonna put trackers on people. No, man, it's bigger than that. See, the reason why we think the way we think is because of prophecy. Prophecy forms and forges our thoughts. You see, so we're looking at the next move, and that's prudence. It says, the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things. And you got to judge all things, man. That's why we go into these particular articles and judge it. We filter it out, with the scriptures. See? And we're in awe of what Yahweh Shema Shah is doing. It's like, man, this is really happening quickly. You see? Lord, he just flipped a switch this year. It's like, damn, like it's already been happening quickly, especially like after 2020. Like this shit, a lot of things have happened, but like now, like this, bro, so much has happened this year, and we're only it's July 25th. This year has flown by, but look at how much has been done. Trump came out. The Lord put the spirit upon Trump to come out swinging. And Trump and the Vice President J.D. Vance. Both of them niggas sound like they just came fresh out of a World Economic Forum, like exactly what Swabby Boy was talking about. Okay, Trump is literally saying the same thing, even though when he was campaigning, he was acting as if he was against these bureaucrats and against, the W to the E to the F and the hootie hoo and, but it makes sense why Schwab has stepped down at the beginning of this year, because that was pretty much like them signaling, like, listen, hey, my work is done. I'm passing the baton to you. See? And then as soon as he stepped down, that's when Trump said, hey, he wants to make America the crypto capital of the world. See? So they're all in it together, man. All right. But this is prophecy, because the Lord, he's the one that let me get this last one right here. We're gonna end it out. And the water for all the precepts, Hakim. The water. I really want to get some. I just got to get ready for this clock. This is Daniel 2:21 in the NLT. He controls, right? Yahweh Shema Shai. He controls the course of world events. He removes kings and sets up other kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the scholars. See, so the Lord, he's the one that's controlling all the world events that's happening. See, and this is why we have a biblical worldview, because we know that every single little thing in detail is happening, all the way from Glorilla getting arrested. The Lord controlled that, all the way to the big, beautiful bill, all the way to floods of island. The Lord he's behind everything. He's the one that controls everything, man. You see, Alizé saying that he ain't a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. The Lord did it. See, we just want the Lord to keep us, man. All right. Pray that Psalms 51:11, take not the Holy Spirit away from me and cast me not away from thy presence. See, Because it's, bro, I don't even want to think about what it would be like to try to go through Jacob's trouble without Yahweh Bashim Shai. Bro, man, scary. All right, so we're in the true sanctuary. We're in the sanctuary city, the secret place of Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's truth, man. All right, so, but hey, that's the point. Hey, once again, hey, the water Akim for all the scriptures. The Lord's willing, this was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. The next time I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakwadash. I'm going to give double honor to my beloved apostle. That was a great millstone. Muaf Ball. Shalom.